Okay, so I'm making a part three. I made part one and two, and I've gotten a lot of questions and responses, so I'm making this. I didn't plan on making a part two or part three, but I'm going to do so just to hopefully answer any more questions. I've been living in Toronto I just hit 7 years now, which is technically long enough to get citizenship, but I just have my residency card. And so here's just going to be like some extra information that might be useful. It's written in a very random order. There's no like logic or rhyme to the comments or stuff that I'm saying. It's just information that I'm sharing that I've gathered from myself or talking to people. I'm gonna first start off with like some nightlife adult stuff, and then yeah, this kind of just my random thought process of writing over like 2 hours, just laying in bed, and I'm gonna go to sleep after this. Okay, so let's get started. So if you want to go out, sorry, I have my laptop behind this, and I'm going to be basically reading everything over here because I definitely can't remember all of this. So if you want to go out dancing, a lot of the times you need to have a girl with you for some places in Toronto, but also for swimming pools as well. So if they say that you need to be accommodated, they mean you got to have girls with you. So if you're gay, sorry my niggas, it is what it is. There's two karaoke spots in Bloku. One is called Irish. The other one is further down the street if you like karaoke. The music, in my opinion, typically sucks. People don't dance, except when they play traditional music. When that comes on, the people go ham. But people typically sway, but they don't dance. It's not what you would expect. Like, for example, if you had a club full of black people, they dance. This is not like that at all. Smoking is allowed inside at some bars and clubs, which sucks, especially like after like 10, 11 o'clock, people will start smoking a lot more. There's a lot of cocaine being used. People would be using it in the bathrooms. I didn't realize how popular cocaine was cocaine was, but it is. If you're buying weed costs 1,000 lek or 10 euros. It used to be 500 lek or 5 euros. The sizes on the bags vary. Some people will have you buy 3 bags at once, from what I've heard, allegedly. I've never bought nor smoked weed before. And if you want to find weed in Sarana specifically, just walk along that main strip, and I promise you some young Albanian boy will yell weed or ganja or something like this while walking by you if you look like you're a foreigner. So for me, visibly, they just look at me and they assume that I smoke, so I get offered a lot. Next, prostitutes exist. You got this lady who walks around the main square in Toronto. I don't know what she'd be doing, but yeah, she's out there. There's massage parlors with happy endings from what I've heard. I don't know where they are though. They got strip clubs here, which I assume that they're trafficking these Russian-speaking girls, but that's just my theory because I don't know if it's normal to have a chain of strip clubs with the same brand for gay dating life. Or for just LGBT people. There's a place called Alianza, Aleanca. They offer free like STD testing and stuff like that. There's a community here, but it's so small that everyone is basically an Eskimo brother, Eskimo sister. There are a lot of older men having sex with underage boys. And when I say older men, I mean men who are married and sometimes have kids. Many people have blank profiles on dating apps because it's dangerous for them. I mean, Grindr's a trash-ass app around the world anyway, so, you know, you get what you get. And anyway, if you want to volunteer or, like, donate your clothes or some extra food to an LGBT shelter here, there's one called Streha, Streha. If you would like to, you know, pursue that, they have an Instagram channel or account as well. You can buy lube and condoms everywhere, pharmacies, grocery stores. They're typically behind the cashier. You can get, this is again, this is very random, you can get like one of those full body tests, like with your urine, poop, and blood for like $30 at a place called Intermedica. There's a bunch of them everywhere. Next, if you look gay, people will call you faggot on the street, or in Albanian, pederast. But they'll say it in a way where it's not actually addressing you, but vocalizing it loud enough so you can hear. If you're effeminate, like an effeminate man, that is, and even like kids will say it from like 6 years old up until like adults in their 30s. Like, people have no respect here. In terms of alcohol and drinking, I don't know, I have no idea about this. I mean, people drink here, even though it is technically, there's a lot of people who are Muslim. But yeah, alcohol, you can find it everywhere. I don't know the prices, unfortunately. If you're looking for a residency or anything, you can reach out to the lawyer. I'll put him in the description of this video, but he's also in the description of videos 1 and 2. I think the last I heard, there were some problems with his website or email, so just give him like a second. to respond. Now, I mean, he's helping me and my friends get our residency, so I mean, he's pretty great, and I trust him. Now, going into Tirana, it is hot in the summer. The air is dirty. If you're looking for a nice pool, you can go to one in Daiti. I went to one recently, and I paid 1,200 lek, like 12 euros, maybe $13 right now, for an umbrella, and it was nice. The only problem was that there was plastic baked into the cheese of my food, so I will never eat there again. I will pack my lunch and eat in the car if needed. If you're looking for things to get delivered to your house, like shopping, of course there's no Amazon here, but there's a place called Megatek, Megatek, and you can go on their website and, you know, look for stuff and have it delivered and ordered to your house, and they have a messaging system, and they're pretty thorough, I would say. Taxis, if I prefer to use Blue Taxi, despite their whole cocaine scandal. I used to be a Smart Taxi fan, but they're always late, and Blue Taxi has better rates to go to and from the airport. Next, I've said this in other videos, I gotta repeat it again, please stop coming here to spread your religion. Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, and other proselytizing people, if you're coming here, come to learn from the people and not with an objective to change them through help. If they want to find God, they can do it on their own. They do not need your introduction. Keep that shit at home. But if you are religious and you're looking to find a group, there are churches everywhere. There are mosques everywhere. There's even a Korean church somewhere here from what I've heard. There's an African church here as well, because I met like an African pastor who told me he had a church. So like if you are religious, you definitely can find your community here. Next, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter where you live in Tirana because the city is really, really small, and you can walk from one end to the other in like an hour. In terms of places that I go to, of course, because if you go from like Astir to Brul, then it's going to be a bit different. But like from the main section of the city, I think like an hour is enough time. Next, laughing gas, that stuff that you huff to get high, that's legal here for some reason. You can find that at festivals. They sell it in balloons. Next, people spiking your drinks at clubs or stealing your stuff at a club is not really a huge concern. It's pretty safe in that aspect, but take that with a grain of salt because I am not an attractive single female. The pasta here is good. Pizza places are mid at best for most of the places that I've been at. There's a place called Bella Napoli, and that's one of the best places I've had here in Tirana. Next, for phone services, do not get one as a service. They suck. They have terrible customer service. I've been a loyal customer of them for the past couple of years, and I still have them. I probably won't change what I should, but yeah, they're bad. Opt for Vodafone instead. Oh, in terms of internet, I forgot to mention this as well. I have Vodafone for internet. My plan is like 1,350 lek, or let's say 1350 in euros, maybe $14. I'm not sure what the exact conversion rate is. But yeah, and I think I have, oh shoot, I don't even know, maybe 200 Mbps, I don't know, I can't remember. Next, I mentioned this in one of my other videos, so Albanian World Star, their version of that is called Jetoshchet, I think is what it stands for, JOQ. You can find their Instagram page. They post a lot of homophobic shit just to stir up hate. They post like fires, fights, floods, they post it all, and the comment section is really, really hateful, filled with ignorant people. A lot of homophobic activity there as well. Like they'll post something like, I don't know, a gay dog or gay people adopting kids, like just trans people. They post some really off-topic shit just to stir up hate intentionally. Yeah, so fuck them. Next, there is a snitching subculture here, and snitching without even a reason to benefit. They just snitch to snitch. That's what I'm gonna say. Next, if you guys have seen that Chris Rock special, he said you have black people and then you got niggas. It is the same exact thing here. You have the type of people that you feel are holding your race back and embodying every negative stereotype with pride. They definitely have that as well here, but just their own version, and you just gotta live here to see it. Next, everyone in a position of power or a government job is there because of connections. Corruption is rampant, and it's frustrating for the locals. So if you come here, just try not to contribute to it in any way. But also most people, not here but in general, would gladly accept things that they don't deserve, like a scholarship. And you see that here as well. People getting stuff or holding positions that they technically either are not qualified for or do not deserve, but they still have it. And people who accept these offerings also, contribute to corruption because, they're on the receiving end. One sec, I need a sip of water really quickly. Next, there's a lot of shitty people working in the medical field, unfortunately, but there are some good ones. And for locals, they might have to slide the doctor some extra money just to be seen or taken care of. So if you're looking for a hospital, check the reviews on Google Maps beforehand. There was also like a scandal here recently. I don't know what it was exactly. I think like some oncologists were withholding like cancer treatment or not giving people who paid their full cancer treatment or referring them to private hospitals to like take a cut. Something like this was going on. I'm not really informed on that. But yeah, shit like that happens. It's semi-normal. Next, the dentists are pretty damn good from my experience, but I've only had like 2 different dentists here. But that may not be everywhere. So just be careful with who you let inside your mouth and do your research. Next, people have asked me about finding a job. Your best bet if you don't speak Albanian is a job in a call center, maybe teaching English, and that's a strong maybe, being a waiter, or maybe writing something. But from what I've seen, most foreigners work remotely. And this is for the Italians. I'm going to try to say this in Italian. Allora, l'italiano sono dappertutti qua e secondo me la maggior parte delle persone parlano la vostra lingua. Potete trovare tutti i prodotti italiani, abbiamo Conad, la Banca Intesa San Paolo, anche negozi di vestiti tipo Intimissimi, Calzedonia, Tezenes, non abbiamo falconeri, eccetera eccetera. Quindi sono sicuro che potete vivere qua senza conoscendo neanche una parola albanese, soprattutto a Valona, Vlora ed anche a Durazzo. E se hai bisogno di aiuto col permesso di soggiorno, ho lasciato l'informazione dal mio avvocato nella descrizione. And so I just had to say that for them real quick. Next, to my African brothers and sisters, if you're coming here playing football, and I've said this in other videos, be careful. It may not be the dream you think it is. Also, if you need your hair done, there is one black girl I know here who does hair. Obviously, I didn't get my afro trimmed. I need to hit her up again. Also, a black guy who moved here recently, and he said he was a barber as well, but I don't know if he's still cutting hair from the US. Next, some places you can't flush your toilet and you have to put your soiled tissues, I don't know what to call it, in the garbage. Some Airbnbs will say this as well. Personally, if I am outside of Tirana, then I am more likely to listen to that. Like, for example, if it says, like, if I'm in Permet and they have like a sign that says like, do not flush the tissue down the toilet, then okay, I'll follow. But if I'm in Tirana and the building looks decent, then I'll just flush that shit. Okay, next, thrift shopping. There's a place called Berlin Tex. Berlin as a city, Tex, Texx. It's like a chain of thrift shops that you can find stuff at. Next, to my Americans who have never lived anywhere else and have not been outside the US for more than a month, this is specifically for you. Please don't take the entitled behavior here. The customer is not always right. Do not come if you have that attitude. This is not the type of place where you can just speak to the manager if your meal is wrong. If you get frustrated by things not being organized, this is not the place for you. Like, for example, people will sometimes not stand in a line, but stand as a group. Also, you can survive here without speaking any Albanian, but it would be great to learn some as well. Also, do not come if you have like a pro-Serb or pro-Greek mindset, based because, you know, clashes in history here. And if you're single, looking for a serious relationship, specifically as a woman, you will probably have trouble. As a man, it is significantly easier, again, for Americans. And to my deaf Americans, because I did include you guys in my last video, okay, that's for that. To my black Americans visiting, you gotta have tough skin before you visit, because you will get called you probably will get called a nigga a couple of times on the street by people who are very ignorant, and they might think it means friends, or they might just not like foreigners. Whatever it is, you might get called a nigga, so be prepared to get called a nigga before you come here. If you've ever joined an Albanian group chat, it is the most foul place, filled with racism, sexism, misogyny, homophobia, all that shit. It's drenched in it. Another thing is you can't find hair products here outside of Cantu, depending which you may or may not use. I know a lot of us don't use that because it's no longer for us, by us, if you know what I mean. But you can probably go to, like, I don't know, Greece and pick up some stuff and bring it back, because they have black people in Athens. The police here are cool. They don't mess with us. They think we're just tourists. So I've had the best police experiences here because they don't even look twice when they see us walking. This is the place where maybe I've mentioned this in other videos, I'm not sure, but this is the place where you will be privileged because of your passport. Similar to how white Americans have privilege in the US, you will automatically have privilege here the moment you step into the country, because you don't have to face the same issues because of your passport. For example, like, you're coming here by choice, whereas some people are born here and stuck here and they have no way to leave even if they would like to. My other suggestion is do not hang around any of these drug dealers. Do not. That's my solid advice. So if you see someone with a really, really, really nice car, they're hanging out, spending money and shit, avoid them. You can also perhaps learn a little bit of French if you want to, because some black people here, they speak French, so you can talk to them. But generally everyone speaks English, except for a few. I've met a few that only speak French and Albanian. Sorry, I need another sip of water, like my throat is super dry. Next, for my Asian friends, people will stare. There is a small Chinese community here, like on the strip where they have like shops, as well as I know there's a decent sized Filipino community. And also there are more and more people from India coming here as well. So if you're walking and you see a group of guys past you, and if you're like East Asian presenting, I don't know, you might hear them say like ching chong or some racist shit like that. Just be ready to ignore it, because here basically if you deviate from what the standard is, you're likely to get made fun of or be a target. The next is for disabled people. This is not a country for you. Like, physical disabilities, sidewalks are not even designed for wheelchairs, and even for a lot of buildings. A lot of places are not handicap friendly. I would not recommend coming here unless you are like strong and willing to endure. People with glasses, you can buy a pair of contacts for like $20, I think. And I heard that laser eye surgery here is around 2,000 euros, but I haven't looked into that. That's just from talking to some people here. Next, if you're a criminal and you want to thrive or do some sketchy business, this is the place for you. I don't recommend it, but it is what it is because of how shit works out here. Next, where to live. I chose Toronto because I wanted close access to like an airport, a hospital, and entertainment, and certain groceries, because those things are really important for me. Even though I barely leave the house, it doesn't really matter. The center of Toronto is extremely small, and I think after a year of living here or less, you probably have seen everything and nothing will be too exciting anymore. But this is true for most places in general. But this is, okay, what else did I write? Sorry. Something about having a community. Yeah, I suggest you move to where your community is. A lot of Americans that are retired will move to Toronto because there's a community of them there. In general, the country is small, so if you have a car, you can get to any place within the same day. Next message for fat people, like overweight, like fat for American, I mean, fat for European standards, but also unhealthy weight for, I don't know how to explain it. You know, if it's you, it's you. You will stick out like a sore thumb here. It will be hard for you to shop, especially if you're a fat woman. Come with your own clothes. And if you have bigger feet for women, bring your own shoes, or bring enough shoes. People might stare at you for being American-sized fat, and your Albanian friends might make comments about your weight. It's easier for bigger men to find clothes here than it is for bigger women, especially if you have big breasts. It'll be harder for you to find bras that fit you. This country is not designed for obese people, but the good news is that if you come here, you will probably lose weight, I mean, if you want, because you'll be walking a lot. Next, people here dress very, very nicely when they go out. I don't know how to explain the difference, but like when you see American girls versus Albanian girls, the fashion standard is very different. Because sometimes I'll see like American girls go out with a nice pair of tight jeans, a nice shirt and heels, and you will not be flexing if that is the outfit you choose amongst these Albanian girls, because they get dressed up to the gods when they go out. Next, I think I mentioned this before in another video, social media. Most people are on social media here. I'm not on it, so I'm not sure what's happening lately. But if you want to connect with people, I recommend having 2 Instagram accounts. One for people you like and whose feed you want to see, but other people you just want to connect with, and you meet them real quick. You don't really know them, just so you can stay in contact with them and get information later, perhaps, or something like this. So yeah, 2 accounts definitely recommended. Next, do research on Reddit. And before you ask questions, check the search history, because the same questions keep getting asked here again and again. There's 2 subreddits I would recommend. One subreddit is called Tirana. The other subreddit is called Albania. I think there's another one actually called Expats in Albania, perhaps. I know it's a Facebook group. I think it's also a Reddit page. My next comment that I would like to make is food is seasoned but not flavorful. I don't know how to explain it. So they use like the basic Mediterranean seasonings, like your oregano, salt, pepper, garlic, and whatnot. But if you're looking for something like Caribbean adjacent or Asian adjacent in terms of flavors, you will not find that here. And that type of spicy food does not exist here as well. And since we're on the topic of cooking, I don't find the cooking here to be good, but let me explain with some examples as to why I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good because the technique or prep work could absolutely be done better. An example is with salads. For example, this is not necessarily, this is preference, this might just be a me thing. But like, for example, with tomatoes and cucumbers, I personally like to take the seeds out because the liquid can sometimes make the lettuce a bit soggy. Or I won't use too much salad dressing or put it on at the last minute because it can make, the food soggy, and I don't like the liquid at the bottom of my salad. Here, they don't care about that as much. Or like with making chicken, I prefer my chicken to be moist. Here, they don't care as much, and dried chicken is acceptable. Another example, we're making French fries, and this is almost at every place I've seen the technique. They do not fry the French fries twice as you're supposed to, so that you can cook them the first time on the inside, and the second time you can cook the outside to be very crispy. That does not happen here. And again, there's nothing wrong with the food, but if you like your food prepared the best way possible, that's not how they cook here in most places from what I've experienced. Because every time I go to a restaurant, I'm like, they could have taken these steps to make the food better. But then I like to cook, and luckily, like, my best friend, like, her parents are chefs, so I had a lot of exposure to, like, good food. Oh, that's actually the end of all of my notes. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Yeah, you can buy plants. Plants are really affordable. I bought I don't know the names of the plants, but one of the plants I bought, like a little tree type of thing, I spent like 18 euros or 1,800 lek. I bought some basil for like 250, or sorry, like 2 euros 50 cents or 250 lek. I'm gonna think of some other prices. So for example, like a big jug of water that could last you maybe 2 or 3 days, I think you'll pay, I'll just go through some prices right now. 120 lek. Bread from the bakery, maybe 50 lek. There's a decent amount of places to go hiking. Summertime is hot as hell. Let's see, your electric bill when using the AC can sometimes run up to $80. It's been like 37 to 39 degrees this past week. Definitely we had 102, and maybe let's say 99 to 102 if I'm doing the conversion correctly. If you want to do some shopping, this is all like off the dome right now, some shopping in like a Toys R Us, not a Toys R Us, it's like the store, it's like a mix of Toys R Us, but also like a Walmart / Five Below in terms of like the stuff they carry. It's called Jumbo. They have one at Tag. Shopping centers in Tirana, you have Tag, you have Chitau, and you have Toptani. There are some other ones. You have the Ring Center as well. I'm trying to think of some other stuff that people have asked me, because I made these notes, but I didn't create like an ending to this video. We talk about music real quick. Since I go back on that, they try to imitate hip-hop music here, and they do a terrible job. I wouldn't even call it hip-hop because they don't use hip-hop sounds. They combine hip-hop sounds with their own sound, but also a lot of Latino-based sounds, like doom, 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 like this type of stuff. The rappers here suck. Like there's one rapper who I would like to listen to, or that I do listen to, named MC Crashaw. You got some rappers out here saying the N-word too. Like it's wild. I'm trying to think. The singers here are pretty good in terms of R&B music that does not exist in this language. You will not find any R&B music, unfortunately. Um, Anything else? If you want to watch some movies with Albanian subtitles, like illegal streaming websites, you have one called Filma 24, FILMA 24. Just type that in, and you can watch like movies and series. Everything from Netflix is probably on there with Albanian subtitles. And if you want to like listen to the Albanian language more, to like try to learn it, look for movies like dubbed in Albanian. Dubluar në Shqip. You can type in DUBLUAR space N with the E with the little two dots space SHQIP. Type that in to find like kids movies you can, or series you can listen to train your hearing. I'm really trying to think of what else I can say before I end this video, because I've been getting so many questions. I'm trying to remember them. I think I answered one about finding a job here. Someone asked, like, what's the social life for Black people? There's a Black, I don't want to say community, there are us, but there's not like a community like we go out like the American expats do and do like group activities. I haven't seen that, to be honest. I think most of us just live our own lives and do our own thing. A lot of us, from what I've seen, who I've met, are pretty introverted. What else? Honestly, nothing else is coming to mind here. Concerts, maybe I can talk about that. There's not many big name artists that come here, but we have gotten Martin Garrix, Jason Derulo, Emily Sade, Lil Pump, Ass Concert. Like these type of people come here, but not like you won't get your big names. Like I wish Jasmine Sullivan would come here. I wish Tori Kelly would come here. I wish Kendrick Lamar would come here, but no. I'm trying to think what else. Maybe something about forming friendships. I think it's as a foreigner, I think it's relatively easy to form friendships here, and you can do so pretty quickly because people are very friendly to foreigners. And I think as long as you're social and you respect people, then I think it's very easy to make friends here. I don't think this is a place where you have to be lonely, because people are really willing to talk to you, especially if you speak like Albanian, 100%. If you speak Italian, 100% you can make friends here. The Italians have groups, like there's so many of them here. They go out, they party with each other. Like there's also like mixed Italian Albanian groups that go out and do stuff together. Language schools, I can mention that as well. This is a good thing. Language schools are pretty affordable. Most expensive are the Albanian language schools, of course. I had an Albanian teacher online on italki. I forgot his name, but I will also type it in because I will recommend him at the same time. So the language schools here, you can probably take a course on like German, French, Spanish, Italian, and like attend it 2 or 3 times a week. And I think courses might cost you maybe $300 a month or something like that. Okay, so the Italian teacher that I had on italki, he's Italian and Albanian, really good. So you go to italki.com. I only took Italian lessons with him maybe like once or twice. I was gonna take Albanian ones, but I liked the way he taught. His name was Denis Chaco, DENIS space C with a little, I forgot what the thing is called underneath the C, like this type of C that you would also see in French and Albanian, cha. And so CAKO, Denis Chaco. It was a really good teacher that I had. Oh, actually, I see my Dutch teacher right here. If you want to learn Dutch, I had a good Dutch teacher right here as well. His name was Saif, SAIEF, space D, last name Shaw, SHAW. Gotta give a shout out to those two because I was taking classes from them simultaneously, and I really liked the lessons I was getting. Okay, now this video is hitting 30 minutes long. I think that's everything I can say about Albania. Yeah, so if you come, I hope you enjoy your stay. Unfortunately, I don't have social media because I know some people have asked to contact me. Yeah, it's just not possible except maybe through the comment section. But I hope everyone enjoys their stay. Airbnbs are going up and are becoming way more expensive than what they used to, by like $30 sometimes per night. Car rentals. I rented a car for $30 or 3,000 lek, 30 euros a day. You can find some on Instagram. I heard at the airport they have some for like 25 to 30 as well. So I guess that's also a good place to look. One time I was looking for a car rental and they didn't, a lot of the places did not or would not let me travel outside of the country. And I had to stay, you know, inside Albania, but that's okay. Here's another thing I heard. Do not travel with drugs. I want to say this. Do not travel with drugs if you're crossing the borders to like Greece, Montenegro, Kosovo, Macedonia. Do not do that because now they have dogs at the gates or at the borders waiting for you. So just a warning, don't do anything stupid like that. Try to follow the laws as much as possible while you're here. Yeah, that's really it. All right, y'all. Peace. Mirupavshin. I have to say it in Albanian because I actually realized my Albanian is also really ass, by the way. But I'm still learning and trying to get there. Maybe one day if it gets better, I might make a little video in Albanian. But until then, thanks for watching. Mirupavshin.